Hey, Cafe of Knowledge. Welcome to the Cafe of Knowledge. Hey, to the Cafe of Knowledge family. I got some tea to spill this week. Y'all, I got some tea to spill this week. But listen here, check this out now. Y'all seen the title? We talking about the bias colorism that's going on in our community and everything. But before I get to that, y'all, let me tell y'all. First, let me spill some tea on this particular person right here. Now, me and Jay did a video, and I guess the person got mad that I did the video. Now they got up in the comment section and talking all real greasy around here, okay? Now, first of all, I don't mind anybody doing any type of comments or anything you got to say, whether it's negative or positive. It really don't bother us, really don't bother me, because I got tough skin, you know what I'm saying? So if anybody come in the comment and they say anything, we are open to anybody's other point of view that they may have, you know what I'm saying? But what I don't like is when you get in a comment and then you want to use an alias and hide because you're scary. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you gonna be where you gonna run your mouth, don't hide behind a fake ass name and use an alias. And then come in my comment section and start talking grease and start talking all nasty and stuff about me. So now let me tell you, like I tell everybody, yes, on Wednesdays I give you that professional knowledge. Everybody know I'm professional, but then I am down in the community. And I can get hood with you too. You coming up in my section talking nasty and stuff about me. But anyway, y'all, let me tell you something, because I'm finna read this particular heifer right here who said all this bad stuff about me. But anyway, they was a coward, see? They a coward. See, when you got to use an alias because you hiding, because you don't want nobody to know who you are, then that right there show that you shouldn't even made the comment anyway, because you're scary. But after doing my investigation, I find out who it really was. So, I did find out that they was using an alias name just to say some stank ass shit in my comment. Okay, now, it got in the comment, now this heifer gonna get up in my comment and say, who is that? Is that her son? She worried about, is that my grandson? She asked, is that her grandson? Is that her boyfriend? Who is that? It ain't none of your damn business who it damn is. Don't worry about who that is. I'm going to tell you what you should be worried about. What you should be worried about is me. Because what I'm going to do is roast your ass every time you get in my comment section talking something and I find out that it's you. Now, you can say anything you want to say. Just don't use no alias or hide like you a coward. Go ahead on and use your real name. Just like I'm sitting here now, I'm telling you I'm NJ and I'm finna roast your ass for coming in my comment talking that mess. This heifer here had the nerve to say that she called me a boss witch. She called me a boss witch because, I had my choker on that said boss. So she called me a boss witch or whatever like that. But now, see, she want to talk about what I had on, but I ain't talking about nothing about what she had on now. Because I have seen a picture where she had on some long-ass stilettos that looked like they was a size 14. Looked like she finna go surfing somewhere. But see, I ain't even burn her up about that. You know what I'm saying? But what you need to do, hon, is to stay out of my comment section, because I ain't the one to play with. Because you come back over here in my comment section again talking bad about me. See, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my bag of trick-or-treat tricks. And then I'm going to start pulling it out. I'm going to do a whole 30-minute video on your ass. And I'm going to be roasting your ass. I'm going to be pulling out all kind of tricks and throwing them at you with your Halloween looking ass. I'm finna tell you right now, I'm not the one to play with. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to tell you that right there. Then had the nerve at the end of her little comment. Now, we're going to get to this bias video thing, but I just wanted to tell y'all about what somebody came in this comment and said and used a fake ass name because they scary as hell. But anyway, then they're going to have down there in the damn comment at the end talking about bind in the name of Jesus or something. Honey, I don't know what you wrote that for, because as soon as you wrote it down now, that was already rebuked and went right back to you any damn way. And that's why you're getting roasted today. Because, see, that didn't work. I done told you last time, stop putting Jesus all in your doggone mess. Stop putting Jesus in your mess when you're doing mess. How you going to get up in somebody's comment talk about him real hard, and then put Jesus inside the comment. You should have been asking Jesus for me not to roast your ass. That's what you should have been asking. But see, I did. And see, I asked. I said, you know what? I think I need to roast her. And then my higher power said, don't roast her today. Don't roast her hard. Just for a few minutes. But now if she step on my toes again, then I'm going to roast her for about 30 minutes straight. And I'm telling you, I'm going to make you feel bad, baby. I'm going to chew you from your asshole to your appetite. I'm telling you right now, you messing with the right one coming up in here talking to me about my boss. I'm a boss witch. And then who is that? And buying me and this. And I talk to that. Do this, I do that. Stay out my damn comment and worry about your man here. Because I'm telling you right now, while you're worried about me, he probably somewhere creeping right now. You better stop worrying about me, baby, because I'm the least of your damn worry. But if you come over here in the Cafe of Knowledge, messing with this channel again, with the Cafe of Knowledge family, I'm going to pull out all kind of tricks and roast you. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that one right there. But anyway, let's get on this bias here video. And the topic today, y'all, is bias, colorism in our community. And we got a lot of that going on. And y'all, they got it all over the internet now. It's a lot of mess going on about colorism between black people. Light-skinned black versus dark-skinned black, and talking about each other. Let's go ahead on and clear this all out right now. Because it's on the internet now. They got a big thing going on about this man named Rob. What is his name? Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I had to put on my glasses when I'm trying to read something. But anyway, it's Rob Letterman. It's Rob Letterman. This week sometime, this is what he said. Now, it's all over the internet. It's all over the news. And they said they fired him for it or something like that. But let me just tell y'all about what he said. He said he must have been talking to one of his co-workers over the airways and all this stuff. And he said, I have a destiny attractiveness of women. I have a destiny of attractiveness of women, so I would never go to a Serena Williams level. But I'm very comfortable with a Halle Berry level. I need a little bit of mulatto still coming through. Gayle King is nothing. She's not even my type. She's not even in my toasted level. So basically, he's saying Gayle King is, even though she's a caramel color, kind of like, I guess you would call my skin color caramel color. I don't know what you do. But anyway, he referred to Gayle King as toast. That he don't like them that dark, basically. He like his toast lighter, like a Halle Berry color. So he was referring to black women against each other as a shade of toast. How you get burnt toast and how you can get light toast. Which one would you rather eat? That's basically how he put this thing out there, okay? Now, then you had Lisa Ray. I know everybody know who Lisa Ray is. She came out and defended this man's statement. And Lisa Ray said that it's nothing wrong with having a preference, okay? And which is true. It's nothing wrong with having a preference, y'all. It's nothing wrong with having a preference at all. My thing is that when you have a preference, that is fine. It don't matter who you want, who you like, what you prefer. But when you have a preference, have it. But don't down another person trying to justify why you like that preference. Just say, hey, I like light-skinned women, and leave it at that. You don't have to say, I like light-skinned women because dark-skinned women look like burnt toast. That's where you crossing the dangerous ass line right there. Because see, you don't have to compare a dark-skinned woman to a light-skinned woman. If that's what you like, go for it. But don't down that other person or that other person's skin color because of your preference. Just be a man or a woman about the thing and say, I like men or women that's light skinned or that's white. And just leave it like that. Leave it on you. Don't come trying to throw no salt on the game on no dark-skinned women, trying to make it justify why you prefer this type right here. You go on with that one right there. Okay? Now, we have a lot of that going on in our community. That's just what happened and is going all over the airways and everything now. But that was a white man who said that, okay? But it's some black men that do the same thing. It's some black men that do the same thing to black women. You know, they down different shades and different skin tones of women because of their preference. And that's wrong. It's going on in our community. It's been going on in our community for centuries and centuries and centuries. So let's go into what is biased colorism, okay? Now, biased colorism is a discrimination based on skin color or shadeism with people who are usually members of the same race, who treats their same race differently based on the color of their skin and the different shade color of their skin. Okay, so we need to go ahead on and get that straightened out and try to eliminate some of this bias that we got going on in our community against each other. It's no way in the hell black people should be racist against other black people. That is sad. We already have a tougher fight to fight racism, period. But to face it within your own is totally disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And you got it to where you have dark-skinned people are biased towards light-skinned people. Then you have light-skinned people biased to dark-skinned people. Then you have dark-skinned men biased to dark-skinned women. Then you have dark-skinned men biased towards light-skinned men. And it's just bias everywhere you go within our own community. Why? Why? Because the truth is, all African American black people are beautiful. They are beautiful. Ain't no black person no better than the other one because of the skin color. At all. And people who have this biased colorism towards their own culture and their own race is because they are trapped in the slavery mentality that was taught and produced during slavery by the slave owners or the masters, the slave masters. That's where it started from. Now let's go on and keep this a bean. This is where it started from. It started from slavery. And the slave masters produced this behavior towards us and trained us to think like that towards each other. Okay? Now, here it is. In 2021, there's still black people that has this slavery mentality against each other. And it has to stop. Now, let me tell y'all this. During slavery, white people perceived light-skinned slaves as favorable. And they considered dark-skinned slaves as less favorable, unfavorable. Okay? Light-skinned blacks in slavery, most of them felt like they had the least discrimination. But the dark-skinned slaves felt like they had more. They felt more discriminated against. Okay? Now, light-skinned slaves were usually mixed race back in slavery, and they was favored by the white slave owners. And the light-skinned slave was frequently fathered by the slave owners. So that's why the slave master had a favorability, like they favored the light-skinned slave a little bit more, because most likely that slave owner is the father of that biracial child. So that's why the slave master didn't treat that person that bad. And because that person's skin kind of favored his or her skin as a slave owner or a slave master. You see what I'm saying? So they got treated a little bit better than the dark-skinned blacks, slaves. So then it started to where the slaves were really feeling like the light-skinned people was better than the dark-skinned people. And you had the light-skinned slaves really thinking that they had an upper hand over the black slaves because of the way the slave owners treated them. A little bit better. Not much, but a little bit better. And the only reason why, like I said, that the white slave owner treated them a little bit better because most likely they fathered that child. And they fathered that child by unconsensual sex. And that's how they did it. They produced these kids by unconsensual sex with a slave, with a woman slave. And so then you produce this mixed color, different shades and stuff of black people. But when we start thinking like that within each other, that's when it becomes a slave mentality mind. Because that's where it started and was produced at, right there in slavery. So, dark-skinned people are no less than a light-skinned person in our community. And you got this light-skinned versus black. And they going at each other's throats all the time. Why? It really don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So black people were trained during slavery to prefer light-skinned people, light-skinned blacks, rather than the dark-skinned blacks. That's just the bottom line, okay? And still, right today, is millions and millions of us, black people, use skin tone to distinguish and separate ourselves from each other. Why? You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense. You got black men prefer light-skinned women or white women. It's okay. Then you got some black women who prefer light-skinned men or white men. And like I said, that's okay. Nobody has a problem with that. I don't. Nobody have a problem with that. The problem comes in when the person starts to shame, bad talk, disrespect their own race because of their skin tone. That's where the problem come in at. When you start to disrespect your own culture and your own race because of what you prefer. So now all of a sudden, these over here ain't important, or these over here ain't nothing. Like you got to talk bad on them. You got to degrade them. You got to say something to make them feel bad, but then your ass black yourself. So how in the hell? You don't never see that in another culture. You don't see like Chinese people talking down on other Chinese people. You don't see white people talking down on each other like that. It only happens in the black communities across this United States and probably across the world. But I know it's happening in the United States and in all of our communities. That's what's happening. And it's so savage to think like that. How do you think negatively of the person who looks just like you on this side or where you from on that side? That's that slave mentality you got going on. And that's something that a lot of us need to break the chains, chop the chains, break the chains loose and stop thinking like that, because it comes from slavery. It's the only reason why everybody act like that and think like that. And it's really sad that we have that going on, because it's none of us, no African American black person on this earth is better than the other one. Not far as skin tone is concerned. They ain't no better than the other one. You know what I'm saying? Now, your personalities and your qualities of what you do and how you respond to life and what you make of life, that separates everybody from each other. whether you black, white, purple, green, yellow, whatever. That's the only thing that separates, is how you live your life and how your quality of life is. Before it's that goddamn skin color, you can hang that up. You ain't no better than the next black person. I can tell you that right now. And if you thought you was, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, but you're not. Because you're not. You know? Because we all are the same culture. It's no way in the hell I should dislike someone or talk down on someone that's inside of my culture because of their skin tone. That's disrespectful. That's savage. That's savage. You know what I'm saying? And then you have it's disturbing when dark-skinned men and light-skinned men in the black community have only negative and disrespectful things to say about a dark-skinned black woman. That's the most confusing thing, because when dark-skinned men and light-skinned men have dark-skinned mothers, they got dark-skinned mothers and they talking down on dark-skinned women. So they are disrespecting dark-skinned women. Well, then that means you talk down on your own mom or your own mother. Because 9 times out of 10, your mother is black. And if your mother's not black and your father is black, then you still talking down on your father about his skin tone. So that's what I never could understand, is how some black men they say they prefer light-skinned women and they say they prefer white women. That is okay. Don't get me wrong. And I keep emphasizing that. It's that when you talk down and disrespect a dark-skinned tone woman, that's when it becomes a problem. And what I'm trying to figure out is, how do you disrespect that dark-skinned person when most likely your mother is dark-skinned or your father is dark-skinned theirself? That means your ass is confused like hell. You don't even know. That means you totally confused. Because every time I hear or I see a man do that, that lets me know that shit, whoever he got, I sure hope they keep him. Because I don't want him, because I already know he has a confused mind. I don't want to even date no one who has a confused mind like that. Oh, good. Let him go to whoever, because his mind is confused. Because if he dark-skinned himself or he light-skinned himself and he have a black mother or a black father and he talking down on that colored tone or that colored skin, then that means he has a problem with his own mother or father. And those are the ones you don't want to date or don't want to marry, because they really do have issues. And people fail to realize that's how it goes. That's exactly how it goes. It ain't no sugarcoating it at all. That person automatically has a problem. And when you can't see it, when you can't see it, you just quick to talk greasy and run your mouth about something in your own culture, but you're degrading your own mother and father at the same time, because one of them have that same skin tone. And if they don't, whether it was the grandfather, the great-grandfather, the great-grandmother, or the grandmother, whatever, one of them had that tone for your ass to even be dark-skinned or light-skinned. So how do you down that type of person when you down in your own family? That's what I just couldn't understand. Very confusing. So that type of person is a dangerous person, and I wouldn't even want to be dating them, because they are already confused. Soon as they open up their mouth and I listen at them, I said, ooh, they confused like hell, because I done heard plenty of black men that say that. Whether it's on TV or in stars or whatever, you always hear them. They'll say some colorism stuff. Biased colorism stuff. And that lets you know right there that they are a very confused person. And so that's what I had to say about that. And I'm going to tell you, like I said, it don't matter your preference. Just don't down nobody else because of the preference you choose. Don't down nobody else to justify the preference you choose. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's low down as hell. Usually when a man, it seems like the black men and some black women is when it's on Mad Day. See, they get mad on Mad Day. Now all of a sudden they want to talk down on just about every black woman in the community, or the woman want to talk down on every black man in the community because it's Mad Day to them. But then when they start running their damn mouth, it messes it all up, because that's when we get to see how confused you are, how confused you really are. When you go to talking down about someone in your own culture or your own race, when we know for a fact is a mama or a daddy in your family with that same skin color, and that means you cannot stand their ass either. And that's, people stay far away from anybody who hate their mama or hate their daddy or hate their grandmama or something. It ain't that's not a good partner anyway. Point blank period. You know, and then you got some light-skinned women that they feel like they beautiful because of their light-skinned texture tone. And then you got some light-skinned women that feel like they more attractive or more beautiful than a dark-skinned women. And then you got some dark-skinned women that probably feel the same way about some light-skinned women. But the thing is that it's not the outside skin tone of your skin that makes a woman beautiful. Anyway, it's the knowledge and the respect and the beauty inside, how a woman carries herself inside and out, that makes that woman truly gorgeous. Now, you might think you a beautiful light-skinned person all day, but are you a gorgeous light-skinned woman? Because gorgeous is what I just said a few minutes ago. Gorgeous have respect, have knowledge. It has all that. It has all that stuff. It has beauty inside and out. See, you can say you're beautiful all day. And yes, we have everybody. You got some pretty people. You got some ugly people. Because I be sitting here telling a damn lie if I say it ain't no ugly people in this damn world. So you got some nice looking people. You got some okay looking people. You got some pretty people. You got some, this right here. You got some ugly people. You got it all mixed up where everybody can't be everything. Okay? Now, the thing is, that don't mean you better than the other person. That do not mean that you better than the other person because of your skin tone or because you think you pretty. You might think you pretty, but are you gorgeous? It's a difference, And gorgeous comes in a whole lot of shades and colors. It really does. And gorgeous is everybody to me. Gorgeous. Now, you can say you pretty, but are you beautiful and gorgeous? You can say, oh, I'm prettier than her all day, or he prettier than him, or he more handsome than him. You can say that all day. That right there don't mean a flip of beans. I can tell you that right now. That right there don't mean a flip of beans. Are you beautiful or are you gorgeous on the inside? That's for the women who always down in each other because of some skin tone. Because you could be pretty all day, but that ain't got nothing to do with being beautiful and gorgeous. And I just gave you the meaning of what beautiful and gorgeous really is. So you might have to check yourself because you've been running around here thinking one thing and it's not necessarily so. You know what I'm saying? So you just have a lot of black women in our community that they either consciously or unconsciously display biased colorism among the kids and the children as well. Now, the women have a bad habit of doing this. Women have a bad habit of showing biased colorism towards kids and children. And you could have a light-skinned child and a dark-skinned child right there in your family and treat the light-skinned child better than the dark-skinned child. Or you would give the light-skinned child compliments. Ooh, you so pretty. Ooh, look at your hair. Ooh, my baby got some pretty hair. And you got another child that's dark-skinned and you don't never say nothing about that one. Or it could be a niece or or nephew or whatever, and you always saying something nice and great about the light-skinned nephew and ain't saying nothing about the dark-skinned nephew. It could go, or your granddaughter or your grandson. You could be saying something nice about one grandchild and not the other grandchild because of the skin texture or the skin tone, or because they darker than a light-skinned child. Let me tell you, y'all, when you do that, you recycling the bias, colorism inside of our communities. Because then you have the dark-skinned child that think that they not better than a light-skinned child. Then you got the light-skinned child thinking that they better than a dark-skinned child. And then you got them two growing up, and one don't like light-skinned people, and one don't like dark-skinned people. And that's why it's like it is right now. Because the families in our community been recycling this same damn messed up slave mentality behavior for over hundreds and hundreds of years. And here it is 2021 and we still with that bullshit about teaching biased colorism within our own families. Because one child is lighter than the other child. You know what I'm saying? And then they say, well, why he or she think like that? Because they were shown that by their parents or by their uncle or by their aunties or by their grandmamas or by their grandfathers. They were shown that. And a lot of us, like I said, some of us might be doing it consciously and some of us might be doing it unconsciously and don't even know we're doing it. But you need to check yourself and see if, look around and think, have you done that? Have you done that? And if you have, you need to stop. Because what we're doing is recycling the slavery mentality that was produced and put on us back in slavery. So therefore, we keep producing that same type of behavior. Break them damn chains. Break them chains off your mind about one black is better than the other black because of the skin tone. Y'all got this all messed up. Because that's not how it go. That is not how it go. You know what I'm saying? And what I got to say about that is, when you do stuff like that, then some people try to say that the light-skinned person is prettier or better than the dark-skinned person. They try to say it in a nice, nasty way. It ain't no nice, nasty way. It's a disrespectful ass way, what it is. It ain't nothing cute and nothing nice. That, well, you know, I really didn't mean it like that. I was just saying that, you know, I just like light-skinned people. But I didn't mean to call the dark-skinned person burnt toast. I was just saying, ain't no nice way to clear that shit up. You are a biased colorism person if you think like that. Nobody else is better than the other one. And like I said, if that's your preference, let it be your preference. But don't down nobody else trying to explain why you like that preference. You know? And when women and men display colorism in our community towards our kids and our teenagers and stuff like this only recycles this stuff over and over and over and over again. So I'm finna tell you right now, it ain't no nice way to display biased colorism within your own race and own community. Y'all need to stop that. That's all I got to say about that, with all that whack ass attitude when somebody said that. Because when I heard that man say that or something on the TV or whatever, y'all stop. I'm telling you now, stop listening to all these damn folks. You can see where they coming from. And they ain't doing nothing but stinking up our damn community. They stinking up the joint. Stinking up the joint. With all this biased colorism. Then you got our own black people who are on these TV screens and all this agreeing with biased colorism or saying stuff that is biased colorism. And then people had to make them get back on TV and apologize. Don't apologize shit to me because I already know that's how you really feel. Don't apologize for me for your motherfucking paycheck. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But you're crossing a dangerous line when you go to talking down like that about your own race. That's all I have to say about that. Gain knowledge to prevent blockage. And we all know what that means. The more you know, the harder it is for anybody to block y'all from y'all goals and success. Bye-bye. Y'all have a nice day. See y'all later.